Hey Josh, it's me again. Yep. Round 3, let's go.
This how I shut the club down. Yeah, you want some of this? You want some? Oh, hi Mark.
Hey travelers, welcome back to Roberto's Room. So I thought today we'd talk about a park that was very near and dear to Walt's heart, and a park that really doesn't live up to what Disney himself, Walt Disney, the creator of Disney World, had envisioned, and give a little bit more of that back. What do you say? I think that this video, again, because it's so near and dear to Walt's heart, it's also near and dear to many people that are watching, and I would, again, love to hear what you would do to EPCOT to fix it. I know this park has been, to say mismanaged, I think is an understatement, but let's try and fix it. Let's try and do what dear old Josh refuses to do. What do you say? Before we get into it, though, if you would, please drop a like and a comment of what you think I'm going to do. Maybe give me some predictions, and maybe come back at the end of this video and see if your predictions were right. Again, this is a video I'm making for all of us to start a discussion, so I would love to hear your thoughts down below. And as well, to all of y'all that are watching, I know a ton of y'all have watched my videos. Some videos, like 95% of people that watched, did not subscribe, and I would love to have you on board the channel just so I can continue to make videos like this and better videos. I'm so excited and thankful to all of y'all that have subscribed. So let's, if you can, drop a subscribe. I would love to have you on board the channel. All right, let's get into it.
Smile, everyone. We're back.
All right, so let's talk EPCOT. And EPCOT, I thought I'd take the structure that they have built so far as the divisions of the park, and have each land centered on world and then a word that describes that land. So for instance, we have 4 different: world celebration, world discovery, world nature, and world showcase. So, because World Celebration is the first one, as you go into EPCOT, at least in my version of EPCOT, we're going to start in World Celebration. And there's not a lot that I would change in World Celebration. Of course, this is where Spaceship Earth currently is, and Journey to Imagination with Figment currently is. But I did want to add 2 things to this park. EPCOT is a great park. However, if you've been to EPCOT, I think you can agree that there are a severe lack of rides in EPCOT. And just like what we've been doing with the Disney parks, I feel like we need to add a couple of things that I think would take EPCOT from a quote-unquote half-day park, or a park where you just go to visit World Showcase and eat a lot of great food, to a park that you want to go because the attractions are the best. And again, I would leave Spaceship Earth, I would leave Journey to Imagination with Figment. I think those rides are amazing. But let's add a couple of rides, especially to this front portion of the park, that would stand out. And I think the second one is really going to stand out from a visual perspective as you enter the park. But the first attraction that I would include is Inside Out Journey Through the Mind. And this would be a ride similar in style to Ratatouille's Adventure. Perfect for all ages, accessible, and deeply immersive. But again, based on Inside Out, called Inside Out Journey Through the Mind, where guests would shrink down into mind carts to travel through Riley's mind, and joy, sadness, fear, anger, and disgust are guiding you on a mission to retrieve Riley's lost core memory before it fades away forever. And again, you would go through the mind, you would actually at the end be introduced to anxiety, which again would be kind of a bridge between the first movie and the second movie, which I think would be a nice way of generating some synergy. Not to borrow from Michael Eisner, who loved corporate synergy with his films, but I think he had the right idea, and I would love to borrow some of that mentality here with Inside Out: Journey Through the Mind. The second attraction that I would add to World Celebration is a big roller coaster type ride that initially I was going to put in Tomorrowland, but I feel like with EPCOT being a more futuristic type setting as well, just like Tomorrowland in many ways, and because EPCOT really needs some good e-ticket attractions, I thought we would put a ride titled Keep Moving Forward, a Meet the Robinsons Time Coaster. Of course, this would be a roller coaster slash dark ride hybrid with a launch. I think the launch is something that is very important to this particular roller coaster because guests would board a sleek time pod modeled after the time machines. I want to have like miniature versions be the actual ride vehicles that you're going on, of course, in a roller coaster train. And you are on a mission to help the Robinson family fix a time ripple caused by the bowler hat guy, and naturally everything goes sideways. And again, this is a big attraction with animatronics, with projection mapping, with quote-unquote time jumps. I think that the Guardians of the Galaxy ride in EPCOT currently does a great job of these launches, and I want to borrow some of that, but have it be more of an outdoor roller coaster, which again would add a lot to the look of EPCOT, especially as you're entering the park. And I feel like, again, just like I've been doing with these quote-unquote reimaginings of the Disney parks, Meet the Robinsons is a truly phenomenal Disney film that gets nothing in the parks. And what better way to remedy that than a park like EPCOT? Next on our Worlds Tour, we have World Discovery. This is the second land that currently houses Mission Space, Test Track, and the Guardians of the Galaxy ride, which I'm actually going to move Guardians of the Galaxy to another park. And if you've been following, you know what park is left, so you know what park that is. But I like Mission Space there. I like Test Track there. I would rather add Baymax Sky Patrol. This is a simulator slash coaster hybrid, similar to Test Track in intensity, where you would go through San Francisco in the first fleet of personal health companion flyers. These are mini flying vehicles inspired by Baymax's armor, designed to help with emergency rescues. And you're there with Hero, with Baymax, and the Big Hero 6 team on a training mission that turns into a real rescue across the city. As well as that ride, Sky Patrol, I would also add a ride called Wall-E Operation Cleanup. This would be a ride with elements similar to that of Midway Mania meets Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, kind of medium on the thrill level, family accessible with a heavy use of environmental storytelling, meaning that you're using the things around you to tell the story. The story concept for this ride would be that centuries in the future, the Earth is a wasteland of trash, and Wall-E has been working hard, but the planet's cleanup is too big for one robot. You're recruited as a new fleet of helper bots to clear debris, sort recyclables, and again, just like with Midway Mania, you're doing this and you're racking up points and making it interactive for the guests, all before the Axiom returns, so there's a ticking clock aspect to the ride as well. So you have to do as much as you can in that short period of time, and then at the end, the humans arrive, and hopefully you've done enough to help the planet before everyone returns. Next land is World Nature, and guess what? We are not doing anything with this land. This land is perfect as is. The only thing that I would do is Living with the Land, which I think is a really great ride. I love going through that whole greenhouse but I would theme it to Pocahontas, again, just because that's a property that doesn't get nearly any love in the parks, and I think Lion King, especially with what we did in Animal Kingdom, gets plenty of love. But I would keep Soarin', keep the Seas with Nemo and Friends. Those are phenomenal rides, as well as the Journey of Water with Moana. Okay, it's alright, and Moana, I like that property enough, so let's keep it there as is. Let's not change too much. Now, let's talk about the World Showcase, because I think that everyone is in agreement with the fact that the World Showcase is phenomenal, and it is a place more for the adults to eat good food than anything else. But I think it would offset a lot of the crowds if you were to put some more rides. I know Frozen is already there with Frozen Ever After and Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. However, I do want to build it out a little bit more and add some pavilions, because there are a lot of spaces, especially I think that whole Africa pavilion is a waste of space, given the fact that you have a whole land based on Africa in Animal Kingdom, which has phenomenal food, and that's what you come to World Showcase for. So let's scrap the Africa pavilion and let's add a Greece pavilion based on who else? Hercules, and have a ride called Hercules Battle for Olympus. This is a ride with motion-based elements, large-scale animatronics, and think of a Rise of the Resistance type ride meets Indiana Jones Adventure, but in Greek myth, with Hades planning to overthrow Zeus to take over Olympus, and Hercules needing your help to defeat the monstrous Titans before the planets align ever so nicely. And open the underworld gates to the mortal world. And because Hades is here on this ride, again, we're going to have a little bit of synergy with Magic Kingdom, since he's also in Magic Kingdom, and make it so that people want to visit both rides, because you're referencing the other ride in Magic Kingdom in the Shadowlands portion of Magic Kingdom. So again, make some incentive for people to want to visit one park and then the other. And then, because I do like Encanto, I feel like Colombia could have its own pavilion, and we would have a ride called Encanto Casita's Magical Celebration. This is a dark ride with musical scenes and interactive magic, and I feel like the World Showcase is begging for a Encanto ride, not Animal Kingdom. I still don't understand what they thought about with that, but hey, it is what it is. So let's fix it, and let's put the Encanto ride here. And the story behind this ride is that the Madrigals are throwing a party for the whole village, but Casita is feeling a little extra playful. Guests move from room to room, experiencing each family member's powers through immersive sets and music. You're visiting the different rooms of the different members of the family, and you are trying to help them prep all of this huge banquet that will be happening in the Casita. And going along with this Colombia pavilion, again, another great film gets no love at all. So we're going to remedy that with Emperor's New Groove, Yzma's Llama Chase. Now this is a coaster, a mid-thrill, indoor-outdoor family coaster with some show scenes. Think Seven Dwarves Mine Train meets Slinky Dog Dash, with Yzma's latest potion experiment going wrong again because she didn't label them correctly.
You know, in my defense, your poisons all look alike. You might think about relabeling some of them.
And now you might turn into llamas unless you escape. Cusco and Pacha guide you through traps and jungle gags. Again, we're going to borrow a lot from especially the jungle portion of Emperor's New Groove, which I thought was really funny. Maybe have the bees that chase Yzma around and go backwards and forwards through the jungle as you are trying to thwart Yzma's next evil plan. But that is EPCOT. Again, there's a lot that's great about EPCOT as is, and as you noticed, there's a lot of things that I did not change. However, there's a lot of opportunities that are missed. Let's call it that. Missed opportunities in EPCOT that, like with Magic Kingdom and with Animal Kingdom, we just absolutely need a remedy, because some movies that Disney has made, they get no love, and honestly, they should, because they are fantastic. So that would be my redesign for EPCOT. So that was EPCOT, and again, this was a park that was very near and dear to Walt's heart, something that he envisioned himself, and I think it was the last park that he actually had a plan in, and I love this park. And again, this is where all my ideas kind of came from, to kind of restore what Walt's initial vision was, again, with some liberties, as we all do. I don't think I'm taking as many liberties as Disney, the company itself, is doing these days. But what did you think? I would love to hear more in the comments down below. What did you think of my ideas? What would you do better? What would you change? Let me know in the comments down below as well. Please drop a like. And lastly, if you're watching this video, please subscribe. I would love to have you on board the channel. Come join the room. It's a fun time. And that way I can keep making videos like this in the future. Thank you again so much for watching this video, travelers. And as always, go with grace.